Zimbabwe is a blessed country. Zimbabwe is a blessed nation with a diverse of mineral resources. Zimbabwe is a blessed country with good and peace-loving people, hard workers who are working so hard to build their lifestyles. But what Zimbabwe has gone through in recent years has been a spate of corruption which has destroyed it. You know, our nation is not functioning because of corruption. So after initial consultations with the people of Zimbabwe, we called for a demonstration against corruption on the 31st of July. And the call has received nationwide support from different Zimbabweans to say this is the way to go. We've been knocking on doors of different stakeholders. We've been speaking to different Zimbabweans, and they've all been saying corruption is the main issue that indeed we can confront and deal with. You know, and currently our nation is at the crossroads. If you look at Zimbabwe now, we're at the crossroads. Corruption has been so rampant and institutionalized that it is threatening the very existence of the nation. So we are very clear in terms of what the people are calling for on the 31st of July. You know, people are calling for an end to corruption, number one. You know, people are calling on looters to go. People who have been looting this economy in this nation, people are saying looters must go. That's a very clear message which people are demanding on the 31st, that looters must go. You know, people are demanding that bad leadership must go. You know, there are bad leaders who have promoted corruption. There are bad leaders who are guilty of commissioning and also omission. They've done nothing about it. You know, people want them to go. And in our wide consultations with different stakeholders, one of the key things that has been coming up is most of our corruption has been in US dollar forms. You know, all the money that has been stolen in US dollars. None of the corruption has been local currency. You know, so people have also been demanding, civil servants are demanding salaries in US dollars. They're saying let there be US dollar salaries for all. In other words, people are calling for an end to you know, to a situation whereby certain people receive their salaries in US dollars whilst others don't. It's also a form of corruption. So now the people of Zimbabwe are saying we are going to get in the streets on the 31st to speak out against corruption. How are we going to do that? You know, different stakeholders and different Zimbabweans from their own areas are galvanizing and building onto small actions that they are going to take on their own, so that we march to agreed positions or agreed locations, so that we speak out against corruption. We are protected by Section 59 of our Constitution, which guarantees us and gives us the right to demonstrate. So we have notified the police, we have notified them of our intention to demonstration as required by MOBA. So the law requires that we notify the police, and we have already done that. We are also very much aware of the existence of COVID amongst us. So it's important for us to say, okay, what are we going to do in the light of the COVID pandemic? So there are two things. Number one, as far as the COVID pandemic is concerned, firstly, we understand that yes, COVID is a pandemic, and at the same time, corruption is also a pandemic. But our capacity and ability to deal with the COVID pandemic has been seriously limited by corruption. Corruption has seriously limited our capacity to deal with the COVID pandemic. Already we've got an outstanding corruption in the support that has been received by government for COVID. You know, we know of the drugs, 60 million stolen. You know, that is corruption. So in other words, we can't wait for one pandemic to end and then start dealing with the other. No. The people are very clear that it's a weighing of scales to say we can't separate these pandemics and say let COVID end and then we fight the corruption pandemic. No. But we are very much aware that we will take steps that enable the people of Zimbabwe to be protected on the day. How are we doing that? We're encouraging everybody who is coming to be in their face mask, number one. Number two, we're encouraging them to make sure that they maintain social distancing on the day. Number three, we are encouraging people to also carry extra masks in case some people turn up without masks. But we understand every Zimbabwean has access to a mask currently. So we are making sure that we bring as much support to others as we can on the day. And also warm water will be made available regularly for people to wash their hands with soap. So we will make sure that we are not careless about COVID on the day. And in all the areas that people will be gathering, this is what we are encouraging Zimbabweans. And it is Zimbabweans really who are doing it. You know, already I've received support from Zimbabweans here in Harare who are saying, you know what, Ngarivhume, I will do 10,000 free masks so that we support the initiative. And if everybody has been speaking out against corruption, it is their time to show the nation that we are agreed that enough is enough, no to corruption in this country. Why should we allow our heritage to be destroyed? Zimbabwe is our heritage. And for too long we've watched this country being destroyed. And this is enough. We are saying enough is enough. So the people of Zimbabwe have drawn a line in the sand, and we want to make sure that we speak out on the 31st. And it's not going just to be an event. People will make sure that we demonstrate until we have results, that the people of Zimbabwe are desiring and expecting. So we are saying no to corruption on the day. This is an anti-corruption demonstration, and the people of Zimbabwe are determined to make sure that we come together. So what are we doing moving forward? It is important for you to note that different stakeholders are going to come up with their own messages of support to the 31st July movement, to the anti-corruption demonstration. The different stakeholders are from labor, the different stakeholders are from churches, they are from business, they are from different political players. They will all come up with their own messages of support. We have already received some from different stakeholders. And some are saying, okay, we'll do the publications on our own. Some are consulting internally so that they can then come up with appropriate statements at the right time. And we are welcome when Zimbabweans do endorse this initiative. We appreciate that. And we understand that Zimbabweans are not taking this call lightly. And the support we have gotten from across the sectors shows that the people of Zimbabwe are sick and tired of corruption in this country, and they deserve to be heard. It is unfortunate every time that the people of Zimbabwe try to speak, some people, particularly, recently ZANU-PF, Matema Dada and others, have been trying to attribute it to the West. That if the people of Zimbabwe demanded end to corruption, they on their own can't think of the need to deal with corruption, but rather it only has to be America. That is unfortunate. It's a notion that we completely want to dismiss and say, you must allow the people to speak out. You must allow the people of Zimbabwe to chart and map a way forward that they feel is appropriate. And that you refuse the people to speak out and express themselves and show how they desire to be governed and how they desire to deal with issues. When you deny them that chance, and then it can't happen forever. A good society, a democratic free society, should allow people to express themselves. And this is what we are simply saying. So the call for the 31st is really to say enough is enough as far as corruption is concerned in this country. We are coming together. Let us all come together and make sure that we stop and bring an end to corruption. Thank you very much. I will take a couple of questions.
All right. I'll take first round of four. You just tell us your name, the media house that you represent, and your question.
I just wanted to find out, there's been a hint that there are lockdown restrictions that are going to be tightened and made a bit stricter. Where does this leave the march at the end of the day?
Okay, thank you.
My name is Ian Napira in South Africa. In case of the police maybe trying to use their force against the protesters, what have you put in place to ensure that those who are protesting are helped?
Okay, thank you. All right, thank you.
Okay, again. Yeah, there is, so the question to say, how about if lockdown restrictions are tightened? You know, that again will not stop the demonstrations. You know, we are already under lockdown, and the decision for the people of Zimbabwe to get into the streets was reached amidst the restrictions. So there is no going back as far as the demonstration is concerned. The people of Zimbabwe will gather on the 31st and make sure that they push the point against corruption. So there's no turning back at all. We'll make sure that we do it. But of course, we'll also hasten our preparedness to make sure that we don't expose the people of Zimbabwe to the risk of contracting COVID. So that we are very clear. We'll make sure that we don't want to expose the people to COVID. And then the police, you know, we don't expect the police to interfere with the demonstration at all. Already we've informed them. And so we hope that the police should not at all turn against the people. We are reaching out to all Zimbabweans to give them support, and the people are going to demonstrate from their locations and localities. You know, and we are not expecting, these are peaceful demonstrations, for your own information. And we don't expect the police to turn against peaceful marchers. We expect the police to provide security for the people. Should there be hooligans, we have marshals that we are identifying. We will make sure that everything remains peaceful. And if anybody tries to be violent on the day, we will apprehend them and hand them over to the police. So we should expect the police to cooperate with the people during the march. So we actually expect support from the police, if anything. So we are not expecting at all the police to come up and be violent on the day, because the demonstrations and the call itself is very, very peaceful. Thank you very much. Let's any other question?
All right, I'll take maybe the last one. Let's say.
Elaine Charlie from 263. History has always told us that any march against the government, the police will turn down will not go ahead to the protest. What measures have you put in place, or what action are you going to take? Should they deny you to protest?
All right.
In case the demonstration took place on the 31st of July, are they going to go beyond 31st July? Because I heard you say you are going to push until we find what we want. So are they going to go beyond 31st, maybe 2, 3, 4 days off?
Okay, Chapazoni freelance. In Zimbabwe has seen a protest of similar nature previously, but little or nothing has been achieved by the objectives of the protest. What if you hold a demonstration on the 31st, and then people come out in their numbers, people march, and then they go home, and corruption still exists? What will be the way forward from that point onwards?
Okay, I can take these three. Thank you. So the first one is to say police have got a history of turning down notifications for demonstrations, you know, and what have we in place? I think the momentum this demonstration is gathered, you can tell that there is no going back. there is no going back, that the people are prepared on the ground. I'm sure you guys are journalists and you are seeing how it is trending and how people are speaking about it. So there is determination on the ground by the people that this thing can't be stopped by anybody. Not even the police, not even the convener, not even anybody. It's clear that the momentum is going and the people are prepared to speak out against corruption on the day. So that on its own is like a momentum that is gathered enough not to be stopped. And we are very clear that, you know, we can't do anything to stop it because the people are determined and people are just ready. So the preparedness of the people and the buy-in this movement has had on the issue of corruption is so momentous that the people are ready to move on. It is very clear. So then the question to say, what happens on the 31st? Beyond the 31st? Is it just one of those demonstrations that we've had in the past, whereby we go out in the streets and then go back home, nothing happens? That's a very good one. So let's see what happens on the 31st. We are saying this is what we want to achieve on the 31st. And we are very clear about it. And we are saying if that is not met, it means the people are going to continue. The people are going to continue to speak out and demonstrate until there are results. We don't want it to be like any of the other demonstrations we have done in the past. We want it to be a demonstration that has results. The people are not going to stop until a time whereby we feel we've achieved what we want and we've achieved the result that we want. So people are very clear on the day that it's not going to be one of those demonstrations whereby we just come together and that's the end of it. No, no, no. So I mean, the other question was almost the same, to say nothing has been achieved in previous demonstrations. So maybe let's wait for the 31st. And it's very interesting that for the first time, there has been so much support and convergence around the issue of corruption from different stakeholders. Even business, this time they've come through and said corruption has killed our capacity even to do business in this country. And we are behind the initiative to speak out against corruption. So whoever should listen on the 31st, they are better informed that it can't be business as usual. Yes, we've had lots of demonstrations, but there's always a turning point for any country. And I believe the 31st is a turning point in Zimbabwe. It is a turning point because it's a defining moment for the people of Zimbabwe who speak out even more determined than before. And I'm sure if you have not seen the results before, wait until the 31st. Let's see what happens, because there should be results.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ngarivhume. On that note, members of the press, we can call it a day. Thank you very much.